All right, so this section is titled 3.1 angles. The vocabulary that goes along with it is this one. You should have it in your notebooks. It's also under the section on notes, so you can get it from there. There's two examples that go along in this section. The first one is with the angle addition postulate. This one says that if you have two angles that are next to each other, when you add them, they should give you the total. So this goes back to unit 1 when you were solving equations with line segments, but in line segments we used to say between. Now for angles is interior, and we used to say midpoint for segments, but now for angles we're going to call that a angle bisector. And so we'll get to those two examples in a little bit. So in example 1, they gave me a picture to draw, or they're giving me the information to draw a picture. And that's this first line right here that says given D is in the interior of angle ABC, and they give you pieces of information, find angle ABD. So I'm gonna draw this first line right here where it says angle ABC. That's the first thing I want to draw. That's the entire angle that I'm gonna be working with. So I'm gonna have an angle, and it doesn't matter what type of angle you draw as long as you label that correctly. It's ABC. So A, B, and then C. The letter in the middle, the B, it's always the vertex, so you have to make sure that one is in the middle, it's in the corner. It says D is in the interior. Interior means inside, so anywhere inside your angle you're gonna put point D. I'm just gonna put that right here. I'm gonna connect it to the vertex. This is point D. Once you have your picture drawn, all you have to do is start labeling so that you can set up the equation. First piece of information, measurement of angle ABD is 3x minus 8. So ABD is this angle right here. This one, I'm going to label it with 3x minus 8. Inside, that's the angle. And then, second piece of information, measurement of angle DBC is 5x plus 4. Start at D, move to B, end at point C. That's this angle right here. This angle is 5x plus 4. Pink angle gets one line, blue angle gets two curves, like two little curves. That's just to show that they're different. They're not going to be equal, they're different. And then last piece of information, they're telling me that angle ABC is 94. ABC is the total, so the entire thing, ABC, that's 94. Alright, so once I set up my picture, I can set up my equation. It's telling me the angle addition postulate tells me I have to add the two angles that are inside, so the two smallest angle, and equal it to the total. So I'm going to add the pink one and the blue one. 3x minus 8, that's one angle. And then I'm going to add the second angle, which is the blue one, that's DBC, 5x plus 4, equals the total, which is 94. Once I have my equation set up, I can start solving for x. So here I have parentheses just to show that I'm adding the two different angles. This is one angle, this is another one, but really you don't have to put parentheses, so you can ignore them if you want. All I have to do now is add like terms. So I have 3x's here, and then I have 5 over here, so that's 8 in total, 8 x's. And then I add the constants, so I have negative 8 plus 4, that gives me negative 4. Since the x is on the left side, I have to cancel these numbers. The first one that I need to cancel is the constant, which is the number with no x. So instead of minus 4, I'm going to add 4 to both sides. So opposite of minus is addition. So plus 4 is going to cancel that out. Whatever you do to one side, you do to the other side. Then you have 8x left over. And here 94 plus 4, that's 98. And then the last step, you have to divide by 8. So I'm gonna divide by 8 so that it cancels out on both sides. And for this, we're gonna get a decimal. 98 divided by 8 is 12.25. So that's my x value. I'm not done with the problem because the problem is asking me find measurement of angle ABD. So for angle ABD, that is ABD, that's the pink one. I'm gonna plug it in for that. That's 3x minus 8. So instead of x, I'm going to plug in 12.25. Replacing the numbers, you have to make sure you put it in parentheses. That way you remember that you have to multiply. So you can just type this in your calculator. You'll do 3 times 12.25 and then subtract 8. And you end up with 28.75 degrees. So the measurement of angle ABD is 28.75 degrees. And then that's your final answer. Okay, for example 2, it's similar, but in example 2, we have an angle bisector. That means that it's a ray that will cut the angle into 2 equal parts. So it's going to create 2 equal angles. And here I have one curve for each of those showing that it's equal. So example 2 is going to be worked out a little bit different because I have a bisector. So it says given Km bisects angle JKL, I'm going to find JKL. So angle that I'm trying to draw is JKL. So here's my angle. I have to label my angle with JKL, and one more time, because the letter K is in the middle, that means that's the vertex. Km bisects it, so I'm going to draw a ray that cuts this angle in half. So right there in half. And now I'm going to label the information that they gave me. So they gave me measurement of angle JKM. So JKM, that's 10x minus 2. And they gave me MKL. MKL is the blue one. This is 9x plus 4. Notice how I put one curve on each of those. That means that they're equal. And then they're asking me to find JKL. JKL is the entire thing. So they want me to find out the total. So for this one, because it says bisects, I know that those 2 angles that I have are equal. The pink and the blue angle are equal. So I'm going to put those 2 equal to each other. So my equation's a little bit different here. Those 2 angles are equal because it says bisects. And I'm going to solve this. Have x's on both sides, so I always start by canceling the ones on the right side. So I'm going to do minus 9x on both sides. So 10x's minus 9x's, that leaves me with 1x. Carry down the minus 2, carry down the 4. And then I need x by itself, so I just have to cancel that 2. So I'm going to do plus 2 on both sides. And I get x equals 6. That just gives me the x value. I'm trying to figure out the total measurement of this angle. So I'm going to plug it in for both of them to see what's the total. So if I plug it in for the blue one, that's J, or if I plug it in for the pink one, that's JKM. That's 10x minus 2. I'm just gonna replace the x with the 6. So 10 times 6, that's 60, minus 2, that's 58. So that pink angle is 58. If I plug it in for the blue angle, which the blue angle is going to be angle MKL. That's 9x plus 4. So again, I'm replacing the x with the 6. 9 times 6 is 54 plus 4. That's 58. So you can see that they are equal. So they're supposed to be, I know they're supposed to be equal, they are equal. And so since they're asking me for the total, I just add those two, 58 plus 58. So when I add them, the measurement of angle JKL, which is the total, is going to be 116. You don't have to plug it in for both of them. If you remember that they should be equal, then you just plug it in for one, and then once you have your answer, just double it and you get the total.